What do you know about swag? I'm joking. Hello once again, everyone. This isn't quite a update video like I do every week. Well, like I usually do every week. Because there's not really much to update you. Like at home, enjoying the holidays, playing games and doing all that stuff. This video is say about my new fan fiction. It's called Heely Cups. Now, if you've not already read it, link will be in the description. It's going up on Wattpad or Wattpad or whatever it's called. Wattpad, I think it is. It's a pretty cool website for putting up stories, basically. I didn't really know about it when I was doing honor-bound fanfiction, but now I've discovered it. I think it's a lot better way of making the fanfiction, you know, publishing it and all of that sort of stuff. It's a lot easier to do-ish. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. What's to come anyway. It's gonna be very different to what the Honor-Bound fanfiction was. That was more like an adventure, fantasy style fanfiction, just because I really enjoy reading adventure fantasy stories personally myself. I'm like a writer, sort of. I enjoy experimenting with different things in the past. Something that you guys won't see for a very long time until I've finished it, and that's gonna take a long time to do. A long time ago I started writing a book and I've stopped now. It sort of took the back role to uni work. It's sort of hard to get back into writing it once you've took a break from it, sort of thing, so you know, it's something that I would love to get back to eventually, but with me being busy and it going, like, it's been like over a year since I've actually touched it, it'd be very difficult to just go back to it and start writing again. But like I said, that was a more sci-fi based novel to me, and it's like, so I'm experimenting with styles, and the new fanfiction, Heely Cups, as the title sort of suggests, it's gonna be more it's gonna be modern. It's sort of detective style sort of thing, where I'm gonna be have the main character based off of myself, obviously, like in Honor-Bound, the main character in that was based off of myself, and then I had other main characters based off of friend, and then all the YouTubers as well, sort of thing. So in this one, instead of having a bunch of YouTubers and changing each chapter to sort of reflect on the YouTuber I'm sort of narrating over, and it's just going to be centralized around the central character of myself. And this style, I don't know, it's going to be a lot more focused, I think, instead of me having to keep track of a bunch of different characters and come up with a bunch of different plots for each character, and then have an overlaying plot all the way through the story, like in Honor-Bound, which was basically a story which they plane crash, explore the island, get resources and all that sort of stuff. That was quite interesting. I don't know, maybe I'll go back to it eventually and write a sequel to that. I did have an idea of how I would do that. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on how I feel about it later on. But I was like, well, I had the idea of doing Heely Cups basically the same sort of idea when I started Unbound. At the time when I started Unbound, I was really close to a friend of mine, Summer, who's obviously the second lead sort of character beside me in our chapters, and I sort of, the way it was back like 5-6 months ago, back in like June. Yeah, so it's gotta be 6 months ago that we were friends, and I don't know, it was slightly complicated. I don't know if we would have got together, sort of thing. Like, I sort of suggesting the book, it might happen. I don't know. It was more like we were good friends, sort of style thing, where obviously we sort of did that. And if you read Bound, it's still up on my on the Tumblr. You can find it relatively easy enough. I reckon I've posted enough links to that, and that's done now. So, but yeah, instead with Heely cups, as many of you guys know, me and Vera, another close friend, we've been talking for like the last 3 months. Pretty much, yeah. It's been about 3 months, and you guys obviously may have seen that we were sort of maybe had a chance of going together. We decided that that's not the best for us, just because the age difference. I'm nearly 20 and she's 15 now. She recently had a birthday, which I had the birthday video, if you've not seen that yet, sort of thing. It's my last video where I wish her a happy birthday. It's a big age gap for our age group. Some people manage our age gap, but we decided no, it's best that we are at 2 different stages of life. I'm in university, she's in school in Bosnia. To me, it was never gonna work out. I mean, we might have been happy together for whatever period of time, but eventually, one day it might have ended. You might not have. You might have. I don't know. But I'm happy for her. She's happy. I'm happy. It's all good. But basically, I was like, well, I sort of wanted to write a fan fiction with us two. And I didn't know what fan fiction it was gonna be, but I just knew, I wanted to write this fan fiction where our 2 characters would be there, sort of thing. And then the idea came to me one day when talking to another friend on Twitter, Emily, who was just randomly talking, and then Toby's video, which he made a while ago, called Heely Cups, sort of came up, and I was just like, had a brainwave of the idea of taking Heely Cups, that video, and turning it into an actual thing, sort of thing. It's like, well, why not? Why can't we have Heely Cups? It's daft, yes, but it'll be fun to sort of have people roll around in Heelys and catch criminals and stuff, And so that's where the idea came from, and then from that I sort of left it there, and then about a month, I sort of got the basis of it, an idea about a month ago, and then I came back to it when I finished doing my uni work, because then I was like, nope, I can't start writing a new fan fiction while I've got all this uni work to do. So I sort of came back to it, changed a couple of things with new information, the way things change, with my life, with fear and all that sort of stuff. And I decided to change the dynamics of the relationship that I was going to have in this fan fiction from one that would eventually turn into a romantic relationship to us just being friends now, and that's the way it goes. But it's still going to be quite interesting to play that out, and most of the characters are the same sort of thing. And it's like, instead of having a bunch of YouTubers this time, I've got a bunch of my Twitter friends who I've asked permission of and they've granted to be in the story. I'm going to use some YouTubers, like I'm using Toby Turner, who leads the task force on the Heely Cops, because he made the video. I was like, well, might as well get him in. I'm going to have references to pretty much every major YouTube I watch. Like, there's already not means not up yet, but I finished writing the next chapter. There's references to Team Mongoose already, who I really like, and I'm actually happy that recently, over the last couple of days, I've sort of introduced a couple of my friends to, well, like on Twitter anyway, I would highly recommend that these friends who like, ooh, Andrew's an awesome guy. Why don't you go check out YouTube? Them on YouTube, it's Potato Audrey's the main channel, but there's also Call Me Puddle and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. So yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go now because people just come back, so bye.